After dismissing the crowd, he went up on the mountain by himself to pray. When evening came, he was there alone. Matthew 14 verse 23. Today we embark on a journey of deep introspection, inspired by the teachings of Jesus that reveal a powerful message about solitude. We will immerse ourselves in the footsteps left on earth by this great teacher, to discover that solitude can become our greatest ally, even in the most unexpected moments. Join us as we explore the path he pointed out to us to achieve a fulfilling life in all aspects of our existence. In the midst of that silence, without the external voices that constantly surround us, we encounter our passions, our deepest fears, and our most cherished dreams. Solitude becomes a revealing mirror, reflecting our true identities without filters or masks. Many of us are constantly trapped in daily routines and preoccupied with worldly matters, making it easy to adopt the beliefs and behaviors of others. Sometimes, we lose sight of our internal connection to who we really are, trying to fit into what others expect of us. The feeling of solitude can arise for various reasons, but a fundamental cause is often the lack of self-understanding and disconnection from our inner being. When we disconnect from our deeper essence, it's as if we're lost in an endless maze, without an internal compass to guide us. We find ourselves seeking validation, acceptance, and happiness outside of ourselves, which can only come from genuine self-knowledge. Lack of self-understanding can lead us to adopt roles and masks that don't reflect our true identity. We conform to the expectations of others, trying to fit into predefined molds that don't truly belong to us. This can generate a profound sense of emptiness and disconnection, even when we're surrounded by people. Perhaps we have been living according to the expectations of others for too long. Living according to the expectations of others for an extended period can be an overwhelming and challenging experience. We often find ourselves trapped in a cycle of complacency, constantly seeking approval and recognition from outside, rather than honoring our own needs and desires. This tendency to conform to the expectations of others can result from a variety of factors, such as social pressure, family or societal influence, and our own insecurities and fears. We feel compelled to follow a predetermined path, even if it doesn't truly resonate with our own identity and values. As the years go by, we may find ourselves trapped in roles and behaviors that don't genuinely represent us. We sacrifice ourselves in order to maintain an acceptable external image, relinquishing our dreams and aspirations in the process. This disconnection between who we really are and what others expect from us can create a deep sense of dissatisfaction and inner emptiness. By understanding that solitude does not equate to being alone, that it's not something to be feared with phrases like, "I can't be alone," we begin to glimpse its true value. Solitude, far from being a negative experience, has the potential to be a balm for our inner selves and a path to deep connection with God. When we consciously immerse ourselves in solitude, we grant ourselves the gift of introspection and self-exploration. It is in those moments of stillness that we can tune into our own essence and listen to the quiet voice of our soul. Instead of fleeing from solitude, let us learn to embrace it as a sacred space where we can heal our emotional wounds and nurture our spirit. Solitude gives us the opportunity to reconnect with our own beliefs and shed those that don't truly belong to us. It's like a cleansing for the soul, helping us to be more in tune with our true selves. Being in solitude allows us to know ourselves better, to discover our most authentic values, goals, and desires. We face ourselves without external distractions, as if the universe were granting us a blank page and saying, "Do what you want, be yourself." Solitude is not only crucial for our spiritual growth but also becomes an essential life skill. It teaches us the importance of independence and strengthens us to trust in our own capabilities. By trusting ourselves and believing in our inner guidance, we experience true freedom. We become architects of our own reality, no longer dependent on others to solve our problems. The emotional independence we cultivate in solitude empowers us and frees us from the chains of emotional dependence. There are many sacred scriptures where Jesus regularly sought moments of solitude, and it is in those moments of isolation that he found profound spiritual enlightenment. Jesus teaches us that those moments are, in fact, a gateway to God, a path of reflection that leads us to discover deeper truths about ourselves and our relationship with the divine. Jesus guides us to seek those moments of reflection, to immerse ourselves in the tranquility of solitude, so that we can elevate our consciousness with wisdom and begin to transform our lives, just as He promises us. If solitude is currently causing you fear, if you feel you cannot be alone and always seek company to avoid facing those moments of stillness, I invite you to explore a new perspective. It's time to discover your own worth and transform those seemingly overwhelming moments into opportunities for inner growth. Instead of fearing solitude, I invite you to consider it as an opportunity to connect with the divine and your deeper self. You can start by dedicating those moments of silence to prayer, to reflection on your innermost self and thoughts. It's an opportunity to explore your fears, dreams, and those parts of yourself that you have kept hidden deep inside. It's important to understand that solitude is not simply the absence of physical company. Often, we feel lonely even in the midst of a crowd when we don't deeply know ourselves. That is true solitude, the lack of connection with our own being. However, this perception can change. We can transform solitude into a sacred space where we explore our most authentic essence. By understanding that solitude is not an emptiness but an opportunity to encounter ourselves, we begin to shape our lives meaningfully. As we delve into the exploration of our inner solitude, we find fertile ground for self-awareness and personal growth. It is in this space of silence that we discover our strengths, weaknesses, and true desires. We allow ourselves to be vulnerable and authentic, and in that process, we undergo profound transformation. Therefore, I invite you to embrace solitude as a gift, as precious time dedicated to knowing yourself on a deeper level. It is in those moments of tranquility that we find inspiration, clarity, and the power to transform our lives significantly.